President Trump officially kicking off his 2020 re-election campaign last night in Florida, igniting the crowd with a wild 75-minute speech as he doubled down on campaign promises, took aim at the Democrats, and promised to, quote, bring an earthquake to the ballot box.
Our economy is the envy of the world. Remember the statement from the previous administration? You'd need a magic wand to bring back manufacturing. Well, we'll tell Sleepy Joe that we found the magic wand. We accomplished more than any other president has in the first 2.5 years of a presidency, and under circumstances that no president has had to deal with before. If I got a subpoena for emails, if I deleted one email like a love note to Melania, it's the electric chair for Trump. The Democrat Party has become more radical, more dangerous, and more unhinged than at any point in the modern history of our country. They want to destroy you, and they want to destroy our country as we know it. A vote for any Democrat in 2020 is a vote for the rise of radical socialism and the destruction of the American dream. America will never be a socialist country. And remember, the only thing these corrupt politicians will understand is an earthquake at the ballot box.
And in a predictable move, Democratic 2020 contenders were quick to criticize the president's speech.
Listening to Trump made me feel very much that he is a man living in a parallel universe, a man way out of touch with the needs of ordinary people, and a man who must be defeated.
This president wants us to keep looking in the rearview mirror instead of looking out of the front windshield. This is a president who wants to make America great again instead of making America great today. He does not understand that we need a leader of our United States who is focused on the challenges of the 21st century.
Joe Biden also going after the president, tweeting that Trump, quote, continues to undermine our standing in the world, and our core values are under attack here at home and abroad. Biden also taking credit for Trump's booming economy, saying he inherited it from the Obama-Biden administration. All right, Dana, before we talk about your reaction to the speech, we should note that the president raised almost $25 million over a 24-hour period. I mean, Biden, the Democrat, raised the most over that 24-hour period with $6 million, so he basically almost quadrupled.
I don't know if that is a great comparison because President Trump is pulling from the entire Republican universe and the Democrats are spread around 25 people.
True.
But
even if you combine the top five Democrats.
$25 million in one day is absolutely incredible. And not only that, but they are collecting more information than they've ever had before. So that they can reach out to them again. Will you walk precincts for us? Will you sign people up to vote? Will you make sure that your neighbor gets to the polling booth? Because I think the last night was incredible. That's not necessarily what you want me to talk about. I would say that my initial reaction is he's in great position, as most incumbent presidents are. When they go to run for re-election, they're in great shape. He's probably in even better shape than Obama was, and certainly than President Bush was. I think the war was a different scenario and not comparable. I think this, again, comes down to about 4 states. Yeah. And in those 4 states, Florida being probably the most important, a Republican has to win Florida, and that's why he was there last night, and they had a really good start.
Yeah, that was a great start. And, Greg, one of the central themes of last night was it wasn't really about Trump, it was about the people that put him there, yes. And he's responsible for a movement and taking care of those people. And let's just react to how he polled his own audience to see what his re-election slogan should be. Watch this.
So I'm going to ask you to vote on it. I'm going to go make America great again, then keep America great. Let me just hear by your cheers what you like. Make America great again. Keep America great. Wow. I'm sorry, MAGA country, but that wasn't too close.
It was a good moment last night.
You know, the Democrats have a big challenge here because there's so many of them. And he just he just makes them seem so small by his outsized personality. It's pointless for me to criticize him because I was wrong on the initial go-around. So if I picked the wrong stock before, don't come to me for investment advice. So and also, because I would have liked more unscripted riffing because that helps me with my show. Like I could build my entire A block, but that'll come. I'm more interested in the media response to this. You know, once CNN was criticized, they turned it off. Yeah. I mean, you're a news network. You're not allowed to turn it off. We can change the channel. We can turn it off. But you're a cable news network. Meanwhile, you have a lot of emotional responses from, Morning Joe and, calling him Fat Elvis, and they're all trying to read Trump's mind. And the thing is, they react emotionally to this because the deeds favor Trump. If you look at the economy, the military, trade, jobs, and prison reform, all that's left that you can go after is personality and micro flaws and tweets. But the unspoken truth, when you go through the achievements, I wish the media would understand is that Trump is a centrist. I sat here and went through the list. Strong military, center-right. Prison reform, center-left. Cut taxes, center-right. Trade wars, center-left. A rejection of military actions, libertarian. Pro-free speech, libertarian. Don't burn the flag, center-right. Conclusion. He's right down the middle, and that confounds the media because they don't know how to handle that. He's exactly what America wants.
Yeah, Greg brought up the media, and Juan, for a president, an incumbent, to launch his reelection campaign in front of 20,000 people in prime time, the media did not treat it the way it would treat a normal president in these times. It was obviously blacked out on CNN after the first couple minutes. MSNBC dumped out of it. They didn't cover it seriously. And everybody was just responding with snark. And they weren't even discussing, how he was framing issues, kind of the rhetorical flourishes he was using, how he was going to, map out different items that he was going to play to in the campaign. They don't discuss it seriously. It's all sarcastic.
Well, I mean, we could use a hype man. You got a job offer here. But it seems to me that, my experience of it was so disappointing. It was boring. And I had heard from all of you that, Trump's big advantage is he's such a great entertainer that he's so different. Now, you say they didn't treat him, the media, like other presidential, incumbents, right? But he's not. He's different. Trump is different than anybody else. He's had 60 rallies of this kind in the 2.5 years he's been in the White House. So I guess people are saying, like, hey, this is like a rerun. This is like a summer rerun. I've seen this act before, and there was very little new in terms of agenda. I didn't see anything new, in fact. So he's done all this before, and the audience is shouting, lock her up, about Hillary Clinton. Wasn't she the candidate in 2016, Jesse? I don't get it. So they say, lock her up, CNN sucks. Build the wall. You talk about all the achievements. I think his #1 promise had been to build the wall. Well, now here we are again. It's build the wall. So there's no agenda. Failure to deliver on the wall, on repeal and replace Obamacare, the middle-class tax cut. If you're rich, we can argue about how much the middle class benefited. Jesse and Greg and I have argued about this. But there's no question. The rich definitely benefited.
I consider myself rich, and I definitely got hit.
Okay. Oh, you got hit?
I paid a lot more.
All right. But you need to get richer, brother. Because if you're Wall Street, you benefited. But I'm just saying, if you talk about student debt, if you talk about the affordable housing in this country, if you talk about international chaos in Iran, Iraq, China, in terms of the tariffs, you'd have to say, hey, what did he say about the news?
Well, I think we can argue about the agenda, but Emily, I think it was Barack Obama who talked about George W. Bush for 8 years.
Oh, my gosh.
And now the media is complaining that Trump hit Hillary a few times. I mean, that's what politicians do. Yeah, you had to clean it up.
Totally. And I do think that there's a difference in perspective of that. I think the president did a great job of actually having that continuity. So he said, look, this is what we've accomplished in the last couple of years. And here are the continued themes that I've been working on. Here are what we can look forward to. And I think, frankly, it doesn't matter what he said, because it was a success from the get-go because of the thousands of RSVPs, because people lined up for 40 hours to get inside that arena, and because the TV cameras showed a packed house. Juxtapose that and what happened last night with the 2 days of Democratic debates that are going to happen next week in Miami. And we saw a taste of it by the candidates, the Democratic candidates' responses, with Bernie saying it was absolute nonsense what he said. Really? Tell that to the people who stood in line for 40 hours. They beg to differ, and so will the voters.
Jesse, Republicans, fun. Democrats' funeral.
Oh.
You know what I think?
There it is.
I think that, though, the money he raised was something to see.
Yep.
And I think that the incumbent definitely has an advantage. But I will say, I don't understand what's to celebrate. It just looked like a rehash.
Well, Juan,
When you have success,
Well,
replay it.
Yeah,
That's right. It wasn't a
Wait
rehash
48
for everybody
hours
because a lot of the other networks don't carry them at all. So it would have been nice for them to show the audience. Anyway.